It's because like I travel, I go all over Michigan to hunt. I
Hmm.
do. I'm chasing big deer. You know what I mean? I'm not saying just particularly big bucks. I'm saying big deer in groups of them. But it seemed like you had more of a abundance on public lands. See, the hunters back then, I'm just saying back then, they were quite a bit for rifle season, but during bow season, it was barely even heard of. You probably see one hunter out of 1,000 acres of land. Well, now they're getting rid of a bunch of land in Michigan. They have been for the past 30 years. And it seems like the less land you have going more north, the more the hunters seem like they're going more north where all the land is, all the public land. So, and then that pushes deer out, you know.
So Michigan's been, is this a state thing or is this a federal thing where they've been selling off the public land?
Well, I don't know which side it is. I just think they're just keep taking and taking and taking and not giving and giving and giving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that was a big thing going on out west here recently. Was Mike Lee from Utah had presented and a part of the big beautiful bill, whatever they want to call it, uh, wanting to sell off millions of acres out in the west, and luckily there's enough hunters came together and started bothering their senators and stuff to where that got scrapped from the bill, and so it's not new to hear of a state or even the federal government wanting to sell off their public lands because they think they're going to make some type of revenue on it. And there's a little bit of history behind some of this public lands, why some states ended up with so much. Oregon's a good example. And I know this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I'll just discuss this for a minute. Oregon was one that, hey, the federal government gave you all this federal land and all this public land for you to be able to use that as a resource to fund your public schools through timbering, right? Well, apparently that wasn't enough for them, so they sold it off, and now it's that quick hit, like, oh, we got all this money right now, but then it goes, and you have nothing renewable to it. And I think that's what some of these states need to start looking at. Like, yeah, it's a quick hitter, but it's a temporary fix to a long term problem. There's probably other solutions you need to look at before you start selling off or getting rid of public land. Um, But, that's a whole nother conversation, and I hate to see when stuff like that happens. Ohio has started to actually start to partner with private landowners and paying them a a small nominal fee for rent to allow, hunter access, walk-on access. So, that's something Ohio has started to do to try to combat that, and honestly, I don't know if it's ever I don't know if there will ever be enough to really make a big difference. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing of it is, I see it this way. We got a lot of abandoned homes, okay, all throughout Michigan. These guys want to keep taking lands and buying lands off these farmers and buying this land, and they build all these big housing developments, huge housing developments. When we have houses that are still available where they can just fix it up instead of keep taking land. Because I used to hunt next to this little Muskegon, just for an example. And it used to be quite a bit. It was right on the river. And it was beautiful land. I mean, this was probably 15, 20 years ago, let's say, give or take. And I used to be able to get deer out of there all the time. Well, there was like two or three houses in the back of that property. Well, it seems like it just kept getting bigger with more people and they kept taking the land. Well, this is before the mapping and all that stuff, the Onyx maps and all that. And by the time you know it, there's only a little chunk. I want to say about 30 acres left of that land and all of its houses around this river. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to keep building these homes. You can restore homes. You know what I mean?
That's exactly one of the points that I believe. So I'm right in the same boat as you I think you and I are on the same wavelength. Like we're firing on the same cylinders with that because that's I don't get that. Like, yeah, let's take up more land because we want to make affordable housing, but you got all these houses that are sitting vacant in areas that if you put a little time and effort into, you could improve that and help with the housing market. Like it's no,
It's a tough one.
no, there's a deeper thing behind that than just that. And whatever. And, you know, unfortunately, you and I, we're not going to solve all the world's problems in this discussion, but
It's horrible.
by God, we're going to let them know about them.